What is happening, YouTube? We are back for another week of Ironman triathlon training. We just completed my third week of load. Let's have a look at the training stats, how much I trained, and then we go through the week one by one, Monday to Sunday. I'm still a bit hyped. Finland just won the Nordic combined, got a medal there, third place, awesome stuff. So let's go through my last week's stats. In total, I completed 25 hours and 23 minutes of training. There was a little bit of a hiccup on a Saturday. Hiccup is a big thing. It was a quite significant life thing that happened. Not the nicest thing, but everything went well. We go through it on Saturday. So normally it would be 27 hours flat. So I lost 90 minutes on that Saturday, but you will see when we come to it that more than enough excuse to miss that. So as always, we kick off with a Monday. That is my easy day, recovering from the weekend in general. That's the day where you absorb. I got better at that day because the main theme of the day is to not add things into it and not make your life suddenly because you have more time to fill things in. I think that's a common theme for some people, for me certainly. Good morning, YouTube, to this sleepy Monday morning. It's gonna be my rest day today, so I'm just heading out to the pool, swim with a friend of mine again, Samuel. 45 minutes, nice and easy, flush out. For sure a bit sleepy and tired today, so the rest day is perfect. Also the average heart rate for the night is a bit higher, which is 55 beats for me. Resting is 49, but it's perfect. You can tell kind of also sore everywhere a little bit. It's perfect. And now really absorb and rest, because training principle, when you think about it, is really training, recovery. So today, this day is just as important, equally important, literally, as the good training I did last week. So nice and absorbing, and tomorrow we hit the gas again. In the afternoon, mostly I get pretty sleepy. Let's see how it goes. Fully absorbing, good quality food, and good sleep and sunshine. Let's get it. So I had a 45-minute easy swim there with some technique. Main thing is flushing everything out, keeping body movement, but of course still working on technique. Each stroke you do helps with that. Then in the evening we hit the gym, or afternoon, met my friend as well, chatted a bit, just some core and upper body work, nothing insane, nothing that interrupts the also nervous system wise, that you don't get in a hype state. You get a bit of a sweat, get some work on, but I'm very conscious that I'm not pushing myself again in a sympathetic or like a fight or flight kind of state. I want my whole body to be in that state, because mostly by Monday evening there comes a pretty good healthy wave of fatigue out, which is exactly what I wanted. It comes out, something that I haven't been doing for many years before that. I just always suppressed it and lay it more on top, and then you don't get better. A sleepy Monday. I managed to ditch all the things I wanted to do to feel better for my self-worth, but I have absolutely nothing to do with me being excellent in one thing. Me being excellent in one thing, which is sports, meant today, which is the easy day, is to recover and chill. I managed to do that and went to bed, slept 90 minutes, knocked out. Perfect, because I'm sleepy today, which is what you want, that all the fatigue comes out. And now off to the gym. Tuesday, my load day. So we went to the track first, as every Tuesday here in Finland is nice and snowy, so all the quality work I'm doing is on this track, anything faster, let's say. So the set was 15 times 200 meters. I think now was the goal to go a little bit quicker than, a little bit quicker than the week before. It's February now, just a little slight increase in pace, so that we hit around 2:47 pace. So the goal was that you run the 200 meters under 250 pace for sure, and I ran them all in these exactly 33 seconds, making sure I don't run quicker. Some was 32, but really my goal is not to run as quick as possible. It's just to hit the goal prescribed and layer each week a little bit more on top. So I was very happy with that. Felt even better. Heart rate super stable. Even the last one here, it's super stable. It doesn't go high. It's even like 165 and then right away down again. So I'm very happy. What's happening, YouTube? We are back for another 200 right in the beautiful dome over there. Most of you guys have seen it. 200 meter lap. It's actually 400, and also you can go downstairs 800. 15 times 200 today. A bit quicker. It's February if you followed. So we're gonna tighten the screw a little bit. We are aiming for 33 seconds 200s. It's around 80% effort for me. and that's like 2:43, 2:45 pace. So under 250 is the goal. Before we did that, and 15 of those. Yep. And I was also thinking, like, for long term as well, like, because it's all about, for me, the Ironman World Championship. That's why I want to be peak, and not just at the Ironman World Championship. In hour 6 of the Ironman World Championship, I want to be peak. I want to be hungry. I want to be a bit angry, to be honest. So how do you dose your emotions? Because anger is a powerful motivator for me, but anger can burn bright. You have to put it on simmer, and a simmer mode, like anyways, everybody has a different motivator, but that's mine on race day. And in order to have still anger and emotion and bubbling energy, strong energy, imagine how patient you have to be in every single day that you arrive on race day. For me, the first Kona is basically Ironman Frankfurt, end of June. By hour 6, how do I have to train right now every single day? That by hour 6 at Ironman Frankfurt, I'm hungry. I'm one of the few pit bulls mentally left when all the rest are chihuahuas, physically and mentally. How do you have to train right now that you arrive at hour 6 on race day on fire? On another note, it's a happy days because I managed to scramble together the financing to get one big aerodynamic upgrade for my bike, which was kind of the last one, which is the cockpit situation, which is a big one. And before, with a 12-meter draft rule, which if you haven't followed the sport, it used to be 12-meter draft rule, meaning you can be 12 meters behind someone on the bike. And it's just a lot. If you're 5th in a row, you're basically not doing any work anymore. But now it's 20 meters, so it's a more individual time trial for triathlon, for half Ironman and full Ironman. That is the distances I race. And so their individual aerodynamics actually play a bigger role, because let's say you're 5th in a row and your aerodynamics are actually kind of shit. And not too bad, you're gonna be riding with a group anyways. But now, there's a lot more individual thinking, which should be individual effort. And I secured it, I'm gonna get it. I'm 99% gonna get it already before the race in Dallas, so I'm hyped for that. Probably 1 kilometer per hour free. Let's go! Then around lunchtime, after lunch, we hit the bike at 2-hour bike ride with 223 normalized power, 124 heart rate. There I'm really happy that's why we're gonna do bike testing. Now be a week later, so in the coming video. Alright, the dude on your screen doesn't have a t-shirt on. That means one of two things. Either we're going swimming or biking. The answer is we're going biking indoors, just over there. I'm super hyped. I just sent an order out to Omara, 510 euros worth of sport nutrition, and I got it for free. It makes a massive, significant difference to me right now. That actually does make a difference. Let's say if I have a bike sponsor right now, I right now have one of the top 3 aerodynamic frames and bikes on the market. I don't really need a bike sponsor at this point, unless there's a certain big check attached to it, so it does change my life in that sense. It doesn't make sense. Why would I get? And some of the beginner deals for pros for bikes are we just give you bikes. Like, I don't need 5 bicycles sitting around here. What do I do with that? Useless. But sport nutrition makes a big difference. So when I started out in triathlon, obviously there were some other isotonic drinks out there back then, or the 2000s or whatever. 2010, and they were horrific. You could barely get down 60 grams. That had to do with how they mix that stuff. Then came Morton out, and they were the first ones that really did it well. Swedish brand as well as Humara. They did it well, and that product definitely does work. Problem with it is 2 things: that schmeckt wie Fußmann. It's translated, it doesn't taste very well at all. And the second one, it's getting pretty pricey by now. So you pay 43 euros per kilogram of basically sugar with electrolytes. And Omara, for example, you're paying 38 euros for 2 kilograms of that. So let's not get anything confused. For a while I also mixed it myself. If you're super broke right now, you can actually just go to the supermarket and buy some straight up sugar. Plain sugar is 1-to-1 ratio of glucose to fructose. What sports drinks do, like Omara, they, instead of just glucose, they use maltodextrin, which is a polymer chain. So it's basically like a chain of glucose together. And fructose is a 1-to-0.8 ratio that has the best science studies out right now. And that one is the best to have no gut issues, and there's nothing else in there except good taste and electrolytes. Those things all you need. That's why people now have not the gut issues anymore as they used to be. Some brands, actually only one brand I know, has still a 2-to-1 ratio of this, And I believe, and also studies showed, over 120, 130 grams of carbs per hour, you do get kind of gut issues, absorbing issues. But for some people it works, so go for it. But if you want to be safe, go for a brand like Omara, for example, has a 1 to 0.8 ratio. You're going to be safe with that. You can give it a shout out. They're amazing guys. They're just a small group of guys from Sweden. You know, they don't have huge investors like Morten did. That's why they have to keep the prices so high, because I would say they got investors worth for, I don't know, a lot in order to go to the scale they are now. And so they have to keep the kilogram price high to make any gains, to go out of the investment hole they did know for 5 years. But yeah, they didn't do it, I love them. And the most important thing, it does taste great. Also the gels. I usually get the elderflower taste, that's my favorite. They have different ones, but it's preference. And now I have 2 times 90 grams for this ride of carbs. And I take always 2 neutral spoons at neutral taste. It's the same powder, but just neutral taste. And 1 spoon. 1 spoon is 30 grams. And 1 spoon of elderflower taste. That's my go-to. Because when you take higher concentrations, and let's say I would do only the one with elderflower, it's just very sweet. And that's just not for me. So I want a little bit of taste, but the rest is neutral. For race day, I will go 120 grams at least, 150, 180 not yet, but something in that realm. Works well, you can check it out, link in the description, you get 20% off. Give them a shout out, give them a try, I'm sure you won't regret it. Now let's go biking. Then evening we headed out again for a nice easy run, just collecting mileage. 11.5 kilometers was the goal. I ran 1 hour 5 through the snow and a nice slow heart rate of 130 beats. That was important for that run. Started the run again with some layering of some nice aerobic mileage. It was a 12-kilometer run in the morning, and there were some series of run technique in some things there we're working on. Right now I'm getting pretty bored of my routine. I mean, endurance sports is repetition, but small things can make a big difference. I noticed last night already, it's like, my god, I'm doing everything alone anyways, but that's fine. And you're alone all day basically as well. But that's also fine. So I'm responsible for my own happiness, right, my whole life. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a completely different run loop. That already makes the difference, you know, we're such creature of habits, always the same, just running a damn different loop, like wherever you ran before, don't go down that road. And I'm gonna eat out lunch. Finland has beautiful lunch buffets, so not cooking, not the same routine, but hitting the same macros, just eating out. That alone, you know, having someone cook for you, it's like a holiday feeling, so excited for that. And that alone is enough for today to not be bored. What's happening, YouTube? I'm just laughing because I'm watching my old videos back. I saw one from Texas. That's actually already now why I do these videos. It's basically like a video diary. It is exactly that, like a diary of your life, and you can look back on each step. Even just now, although I'm just in the middle of the process of this journey, even just now looking back at, you can watch back, have a look at the IRONMAN Texas 2024 video. There's a video I did. Oh my god, it's flipping horrific to watch this. If you want to feel better about your own triathlon journey, go watch those videos. Oh my god, it's really healthy to have a goldfish mentality, because you kind of like have to delete all these memories, but they're flipping horrific. Oh my god, I feel so bad, and that's me. Oh my god. Anyways, so just thinking about where I'm at now, just like the position I'm in, like a healthy, recovered body, even the way I talked in the voice, you can hear I'm completely dejected. Not just emotionally, but just physically, I'm gone, right? I'm talking, some videos I'm literally talking in slow motion, as if the video is in like 0.5 speed. My god, I was tired, but every single step was needed, like every single step. If I couldn't go back and say, why didn't you make a decision then? I couldn't, and I wouldn't have. So every single step, even in your own life, have a look back, like every decision you made that led you from A to B, you couldn't have, like A to C, let's say, you couldn't have skipped the step B.
And same for me, I can look back at the last 3 years when I left my job, like every single step exactly in that order. I couldn't have skipped one, not a single one, to go from this to this to this to this. And again, to what I said, it basically comes to the universe giving you those steps, or God. It's all the same kind of energy, and they give you those steps. And yeah, you can just go along the ladder. That's, if I learned anything from that, expecting something, like to say this year, hey, I'm gonna expect it's gonna be so fantastic, everything's gonna be so smooth. If you say that to life and universe, oh, they're gonna humble you straight back. They're gonna humble you. If you speak like that, you're kind of almost tempting the universe to say, hey, let's throw a rock in the spanner there. So no, I have no expectations whatsoever, but I'm process orientated, and I'm gonna do that the whole way. And dream big. Still, the outcome has to be dream big. So just because our process has been going the way you want it to, maybe, doesn't mean you should cut back on your dreams. Just detach from the when you achieve that dream and how. The when and how, Steve Jobs said it as well, or Elon Musk. I mean, he's a bit crazy, but anyone that has a big dream and says, I don't know how I'm gonna get people to Mars, let's say Elon Musk is an admirable thing. He just knows, okay, the how and when is really out of my control. Same for me, with this big dream of Hawaii, of winning it. And right now, the reality doesn't speak at all. Nobody would say, why the heck would that guy win Hawaii? But trust me, it will happen. But I have to make it this small to bring it to the very small steps back down. And that means right now, we're going for a 12K easy run in the nice snow with some strides in there. And yeah, have a look at the old videos. Already now I feel like they're, even for me, like I couldn't watch them for a while, you know, but when you have some time, it is actually cool to see. That's why I did them, to kind of see how is Texas like, what are the people like, and I can't wait to go back to Texas in 6 weeks. So I'll be filming as much as I can, so you guys that are less fortunate, I'm super lucky that I get to live this and get to go to flipping Texas. What a luxury life, oh my God. So I'm very aware of this, so I want to film as much as possible. And if you want to see anything specific of our country I go to, I get to go, drop it in the comments or anything. I don't know, we can put some foods in or some small things. It has to be sport related in the big picture, but we can put some snippets in. If you want to see something of the culture, especially Texas in 6 weeks, let me know in the comments. I'll make it happen.
And then the bigger ride of the day was a 3 hours 20-minute bike ride. The normalized power for that was 254, 133 average heart rate. And there we can have a look as well what I said about that. I'm pretty sure I filmed. We did the main set 3 times 15 minutes at 310 watts in air position. Heart rate for that exactly where I want it to be. It says 150 range, so happy with that. Alright gang, we're about to hop on the ride right here, 3 hours 20. The fatigue, the boredom I talked about earlier is definitely some fatigue in disguise as well. So I'm a little bit sleepy today, which is to be expected, so it's all good. Just a long aerobic day. Fueling will help, 3 times 90 grams. And luckily there's some quality in there. We have, last time we had 4 times 10 minutes at 310 watts at the end of the set, and there the lactate was actually pretty high, so it was like 3.5 mol or something from last week. So let's see how it is now with 3 times 15 minutes at 310 watts. Might be a bit lower due to fatigue, but we'll see how it is. It's just lactate in this case, just to have a look under the hood how the aerobic system is working, because that's obviously what I'm working on to develop it. But I haven't spent a lot of time even over 300 watts until now. So the more interval work, high watts, then you get obviously more efficient at that. But that comes pretty quickly if you have like interval work like that. Adaptations really quickly. The adaptation takes a long time is the aerobic system. So that is still the main one. Alrighty, so let's hop on here. I'll be back for the end of the ride. And by that point, I'll be a bit more awake, I'm pretty sure. And we'll be taking the lactate after the first and third 15 minutes at 310 watts, all 3 hours in aero, of course. See you soon. Alright gang, we are 1 hour 30 in. First grab. Feels alright. But feeling is one thing, heart rate is one thing, and lactate is another thing. last week. Last week 4 times 10. After the second one, 3.5 more. After the fourth one, 3.4 more. Now after 15 minutes, third load week, we are sitting at 3.2. Oh, that's good trend. Not too compressed, not too tight. Better than last week, longer rep. Let's see how it is after the third one. Alright gang, we did the third 15 minutes of 310 watts. Felt good. Very happy how I can stay without the mirror on the side. How I can stay really tucked in air position. Hip angle is still free. And very flipping arrow. And yeah, so let's see what the Lactato says. I'm pretty happy with the first one we had, because all I can focus on is progress week by week. The mind wants to go to, ego analyzing what it means for race day. They can't really say. But yeah, 3.6 more after the third one. So a little bit increase. But yeah, this is good for now. 2.5 hours in. Happy, let's finish this ride. 3 hours 20 total. And then only swim left.
Evening, 45-minute swim with some short activations and sprints to first clear out the legs a bit, but also be ready for the key swim, which is a Thursday morning.
Alright gang, last session of the day. Really good energy. I overcame my low. All it needed was a 3 hour 20 bike ride. No caffeine involved, just some carbs and getting the body moving. That did it. And I feel great. So, totally logical, right? Totally triathlon endurance logic. Did you feel better after? Because it doesn't make any sense to any normal human. Barely to me. But we're doing a 45-minute easy swim. I'm really excited for this because ever since Monday we analyzed my swim technique. We can go through that. So I'm excited for that. I didn't have a chance to swim since then. Yesterday was no swim, and now it's the first time I can, since I talked with coach and went through the things that I gotta do and that I gotta adjust. And I'm gonna check that out now. Some activations, some sprints, because tomorrow morning I see you guys back going with Samuel, a friend of mine, to again 15 times 100 in the pool. Last week I swam in 114, and I do believe, but that is to be seen tomorrow, that I can swim them a lot faster with that new technique change that I'm practicing right now. See you tomorrow.
Then Thursday, 2 sessions. The first session is my quality swim set at the moment. It's 15 times 100 meters with 15 seconds rest into then 400s. I think I said in the video, so cue the video now.
Good morning YouTube. It is Thursday morning, which means it's my hard swim of the week. 15 times 100. Really looking forward to it, especially after technique changes. Like I said, I tested him last night and oh boy, we're onto something here. Effort went 50% down. Anyway, it's very good, but the thing is now prove it. Because now it's a set to prove it. It is last time I swam 15 times 100 in 114, leaving on 130, but my arms didn't hurt and didn't feel right. Let's see what it is today. Because the swim is actually not only, obviously, it's swim, bike, run and triathlon, and you have to be good in all three if you want to win races. So if you're a good swimmer, instead of being behind, it significantly increases the chance of winning races, which is a sport. There's only one winner in this sport, which is one in front. And there's also another trickle-down effect of being a good swimmer. It increases your value in the sport. So if you don't have a weakness, for example, if you're very good in all three, your value for sponsorship increases, obviously. And also for example, bike brands in a World Champ event, if they know, okay, you're gonna be safe up front where the cameras are, your value increases. So there's this trickle down effect that all comes down to basically your 100-meter splits. So fun little mini side quest game.
Alright gang, a quick debrief of the swim, because normally I record these voiceover things like almost a week after, and I think by that point you kind of moved on already, but I want to kind of give a bit the emotions of that moment, because I want to highlight how important and good that swim was. I mean, you can constantly lift, that was my specialty before, you live in an up and down, like super high, super low. That was me for years, and it still is sometimes, but like, to be honest, I got so much better at it, and that just came with time, because a miserable existence if you're only super high or super low, no middle ground. So I'm getting a lot better with it. So by the time I record the voiceover, I'm probably computer neutral about it, but it is a real nugget that I just received from universe and continuously trying. Just like if you watched the last video when I had this 3 minute per K pace interval, and just the feeling that came with it was kind of like, man, you're onto something. It's like, it's becoming a little bit reality. What you know can be true, but there is no reality in front of me that like high performance on elite level, world class, world champion stuff. You have to see it in training. It's not like you wake up on race day and suddenly you're extraordinary. You have to see those things all the time in training in snippets, right? And then on race day you just do basically what you've been doing for many years in training. And so this swim, it started out actually with the times. It was, so the whole thing was 15 times 100, as I said, the swim, 15 seconds rest, leaving on 130. And I knew already in warm-up and from yesterday that the technique changes that I made, basically I go a bit wider and I know how to pull it. It's complex to describe, but I know what I'm doing now. And although the clock said in the beginning for the first 10 like 115, 114, 115, more 115, normally when you see times that you don't want to see or you were hoping for more, you get a bit dejected, but I didn't have that, because maybe first time maybe, because I felt, no, you can feel, I know I'm doing the right thing. And after 12 reps or 11 reps, I was actually there because I was swimming with my friend Samuel, and I wasn't really breathing hard. And I was like, man, we're almost done with the set here. And then I imagined myself, visualize, what if Michael Phelps was in the lane next to me? He would look at me like, man, you're a little bit soft. You're just not working hard. And then I realized, okay, let's just work hard, go for it now. And then it all came together like a clicking puzzle piece. And I swam 111, 112, 113 or something like that. But the rhythm changed, everything was better. And then the 400s after was with pedals, but I swam them in 5 minute 10. And last week I swam them in 5:20, 5:30. So I know they're working. You can feel it. When you've been swimming for a while, you can kind of feel rhythm and all those things. You know if you're doing something right or you're doing garbage. And I'm on it. I have literally after how many years? 15 years of trying to puzzle it together, I can finally, only today I can say this, I can go to the point that I don't have to overthink about technique anymore as the number one. I can actually put it to 2. Right now, it's just, I have the technique in all the rhythms to swim 15 times, 20 times, 110. I do have it. The only thing is literally needed, and that's the easiest thing in the world for me, to be honest. That was my demise of the last 3 years. It's just hard work. Super easy. I don't care. Put a bucket there. I fill it up each day. It's not so macho talk. It's just, it is very easy for me, because at the age of 17, I learned. Until then, I didn't work hard at all. I just drifted through everything. End of high school, just before the final exams, I learned you put in work and then you got amazing results out of it. Did the same in the studies. I was like, it works here. Then I did the same in the workplace. And then I did the same. There's a thing with sports. There's a limit to doing that. Unless you have a good coach and a good system that puts you on the leash, this thing of working hard and all that stuff is, I would say, more the issue, or definitely more the issue, with most people that don't achieve their goals or dreams in endurance sports than it is helping. But in this scenario of the swim, in this set, when it comes to actually a hard set like 15 times 100, you know what a relief this is for me? This is huge. I just gotta work hard. I have the rhythm, I can feel it. The rhythm is there, everything is there, the times are there. It's all puzzling together, and that is a I'm gonna celebrate that the whole day today. So I'm gonna have a little coffee, and this is all what it's about, right? So the goal is now, I can see it's a conditioning thing, it's a muscular thing, and it's super easy. You know, for swimmers that they grew up swimming, they know this is kind of, I just have to do sessions and then it comes. This is not the case for a non-swimmer. I was swimming my ass off an effort, and I was for years stuck at 1:30 pace, swimming 59 for a full, 1 hour for a full. Then I was stuck at 1:20 pace for another few years. And effort was never the one. I was working harder than I was before now. It's not effort in the water. People know that, but still, a lot of knuckleheads still approach it as if it's like a hard work sport. Like, I just put in the work in the yards and swim a lot, and then I'm gonna be great. Well, how's that going for you? Are you swimming quicker? I don't think so. So, unless you're swimming quicker, nothing matters. 115 is simply completely irrelevant. If I swim 115 per 100 or 120, unless it's your zone 2, which it has to become my zone 2, basically, couldn't do it in Ironman. Otherwise, it's 115 is useless. But you're not going to be in the front back either way, because you need to be swimming 110 or quicker for the first 400, 500, 600. Yep, I'm over the moon. I hope I got that to the camera. I even put on my 2016 Kona cap, not the 218 version, but 216. And as a reward, we're gonna rip off my legs in the gym now. Probably gonna be sore again for 2 days, but beautiful. Matti checking out. See you later.
Then afternoon, my gym session that is tailored specific for Ironman, run training, and that makes me pretty much always, every single week, 2 days sore. It also increases progressively each week, so it's really good. Doesn't impact the other sessions, but yeah, that was getting more and more challenging. A nice hard session in a gym. Friday, 6th of February. So we started again with a harder swim. They are less focused on actual paces. There's actually some stuff that just kind of, you can think about it as a strength session in the water, especially doing the harder swimming before. It was something with pedal work, but then also butterfly into some harder freestyle. And again, pedal work, like main goal is muscular wise that you layer on top with high quality on this already existing fatigue. So that double combo was a very nice new stimulus.
What's happening, YouTube? Friday morning, off to the swim, another hard swim with some muscular things to smash the arms, mainly, not about times and splits this one, some butterfly mix, and I'm addicted to swimming. I'm addicted. Now, after yesterday, I'm figuring out how to swim. Oh, I'd love to swim 20k a day. I love to go 2 times a day, and I just want to go swim all the time now, because I spent 15 years trying to figure out how to swim, and how to swim now. I literally know how to swim. I got the technique for 110, maybe 108. That's the technique I have, conditioning. It's alright for now. Once I hit 20 times 110, which is probably going to be in June, until Dallas, I talked with coach, so nice, she breaks it down as mini goals. Until Dallas 70.3, which is in 6 weeks. The goal is to hit 112 pace for 20 times 100, and by the time it's June, hit the 110 or under. So once I get close to the 110, I obviously have to upgrade mind and body and say, okay, what do I have to do to swim 108? And then endless repeat. As soon as you get close to your goals, you gotta adjust, otherwise you get comfort zoned. But I'm still grateful. I wanna swim.
Then after that, a 9-kilometer run, 49 minutes. Again, some run technique in there. I did that on a treadmill because it was nice and frosty. 128 average heart rate, and yeah, felt really good. Evening on the good old indoor bike, a 2.5 hour ride with some short 10-second sprints for activation, but overall the idea is to have very low heart rate for this. So 117 heart rate for 215 normalized power.
What's happening, gang? It's now afternoon. I did the run on a treadmill, all those things. But holy, I was sleepy today. But that was kind of the idea, because we had the intensity yesterday and today. But one thing I kind of was really bad at, that when you think about it, the concept, we're the exact same as a toddler. What do you do with a toddler when he gets cranky, sleepy? Well, you give him a little bit of food, try that. Give some drink, give some water, and you definitely take a nap. What I always did, especially when I was working back then, like, why am I tired? Why is this like don't matter why you're tired. There's a reason of at least 3 things for it. For me, it's super simple now. Obviously, it's training mainly. But the fix is also the same for everybody. We had still the exact same physiology as a toddler. Literally the same. So the same principles apply. So I was really tired and just knew, okay, time to absorb. And at those points, you don't, even if you have the time, to be honest, you don't really feel like napping, all those things. It's not really fun. I don't really enjoy it. I feel like it's a bit lost time. But those are the things you definitely have to do. Otherwise, you're not recovering, you're training for nothing, right? So I had a 90-minute nap and now I feel good again. So, yep. Luckily, all easy, right? A good training structure we have. So we have 2.5 hours here, mostly easy, with some short sprints in there, 10 seconds, but longer rest. So nothing crazy. And tomorrow we hit the gas. But today, chill, mellow vibes. See you later.
Then a Saturday, my favorite session of the week, because everything, as you guys know, the key sessions or whatever you want to call them, they are kind of the ones that are a bit more exciting, more fun to do, but they are not the ones that I know people focus on that, and that's why I want to make it clear. That's why I talk about all this other boring stuff. The only reason people are fast in those key sessions, whichever world champion in any sport, in endurance sports you admire, the reasons he can do them so fast at a certain effort is not because of those key sessions. It is because of all the boring stuff around it, layered each week for a consistency that is brutal. If you are very good, then you did brutal consistency over years. And that's why he can do those key sessions, not because he did key sessions. So a lot of people skip that part and just do the key sessions, but you can't layer interval work on top of something there's no foundation under. You will get a quick rise in fitness, but then you will either get injured or sick or you stagnate. One of the 3 or all 3.
On the way to the track now, we have the 10 times 1 kilometer, 3:30 pace, 3:25. We'll be taking a lactate after the 3rd, 5th, 7th and 9th rep, just see a bit where it's at. And together with keeping heart rate obviously. And when you get a bit tired, which I definitely am right now, you can tell, but it's also the last 2 days of the 3rd load week, so you should expect that. But it's all good. Suddenly, always when I get tired, my mind often drifts to stoicism. I don't know why that is. I think it's just, it cuts the fluff of what is important, what you want to do, and I don't know, the fatigue can often be pretty clear, because I feel like when you're fatigued, the true thoughts often come out. There might be sometimes negative, but there's still often truth to it. I mean, if it's too negative, I don't have it right now, I feel pretty good, I can control it. But one thing I thought about is, to be honest, stoicism is about that, this life and death situation. My father died 2 months ago. He died after 2 years of suffering from brain tumor, and very sudden, out of the blue, like it happens to a lot of people, and it's more common these days. But one thing I thought about this is just, you're just gone, right? You're just suddenly ashes and nothing of you remains, except for the thoughts. I mean, we don't know what happens to the soul and afterwards, because I don't think it just goes away to nothingness. I don't believe that. It does continue, but the physical vessel you can interact with is just gone, right? It's literally just gone. So what I'm trying to say with this is, really have the responsibility to make the best out of our life. See yourself as a gaming character, really. Like, you have to see it like that. Maybe tomorrow, you, me, we're just gone. It literally could be like that. So if you think with that perspective, instead of saying, I'll just do it next year, I'll just do it in 2 years. My first triathlon, I always wanted to do it, but it doesn't really fit because of work, and I'm busy with family. Like, do it. Do whatever you want to do. Just do it. If you're a video game character in Grand Theft Auto or whatever game you like to play, you just jump off a roof at some point, or like, you know, like try things. Don't jump off a roof, please. What I'm trying to say is try things, do things, just do it. Because you don't know when our time is up, and you have to really, that's why I like Stoicism so much, because it reminds you of it. Like, it takes you nothing for granted to say, oh, this year, next year, all those things, nothing's taken for granted, and every day, so I'm gonna enjoy these 1 kilometers. If you're tired, okay, that's okay. Enjoy them, do your best, and you're living your dream. So Whoppa. Okay, that was it. See you soon.
So a total 18-kilometer run. Average pace was 4:42 and 138 average heart rate. I think I felt a little bit. That was the most confusing part, because there I had actually some false lactate measurement this week. In the next video that you see, I kind of verified the lactate numbers just to make sure this machine is working, because all other metrics were perfect. The effort, I mean, I've run many half marathons in half Ironman. I know how it's supposed to feel. I know my heart rate ranges. And yeah, so I did, the main thing was 10 times 1 kilometer with only 200 meter jogs, so very short. And yeah, the first one was 3:26, 3:27, and then I can put all the kilometers here, but 3:33. Then I kind of went down with the lactate was confusing, because it jumped from, first was 4.3. It was like way too high. I was like, what's going on? And I have like low zone 3 heart rate here, and the effort is also way down. This is not over threshold. And then suddenly was at 2.0 mol. And then the last one that kind of correlated the most was the last rep, probably when I ran 3:34 pace, so really holding back, and I had 156 average heart rate in the last rep, and they had 2.9 mol. So that's the only one I would say corresponds a bit more to what I was actually doing there. But yeah, definitely some false measurement looking back. There must have been some sweat in there or something going on for sure, because there was weird data. Doesn't matter, it's just one of the metrics, but the most important metric was feeling, heart rate, and all those things combined. Then the Saturday got very much outside of the plan, because I just did a 1 hour 6 bike ride, but you will see now why. I filmed it a little bit just after, so I think this will explain it the best, so have a look. Good evening. The change of plan for today. It is 9:30 p.m. now. When I talked to you last, it was probably just after lunchtime. It's because I spent almost 10 hours at the emergency, because yeah, there was something going on with my wife that was strange. I had to check everything with CT and whatnot. But everything's fine. It's the most important. Everybody's healthy, everything's fine. But obviously with that, life stress was a bit higher, and you're running out of daylight. But the day still has 2.5 hours left. Of course, I can't do a whole ride, switch to swim for tomorrow. So I'm just gonna do an hour easy spinning. For sure, not anything aerobic, but like low heart rate, low power, just spinning. And still some aerobic work, but takes into account the higher life stress of the day. Obviously, it is stress, and then I did the whole day as good as I can, because that's all that's in my control. Those kind of things, obviously, not things you can control, but everything else I can control. So there, I'm gonna do everything in every single 24-hour time frame that is in my power to become an athlete that can win Ironman World Championship Kona. Because if I don't treat it like every 24 hours like this, I have 0 chance. With it, I have some chance. I believe it's gonna happen. So, I'm gonna be riding here for an hour. See you guys tomorrow for some more training. Then the Sunday, 8th of February, there we again, I felt very good. I recovered physically pretty well, because although I was emotionally challenged, obviously physically I recovered well, because I was fueling well and recovering well. You're just sitting around in the hospital, and I didn't allow my brain to be paralyzed by fear. I just really stayed in the moment, and I got very good at that. But there was for sure the 3-4 days after a significant emotional toll, some kind of fear of loss, kind of triggered through something that I experienced recently. So this is something that for sure happened, and is normal. Allow those things. I don't push them down. That's very important, to allow those feelings. They're very normal feelings, but very important to keep saying, okay, everything's good, everything's safe. Because if you had an experience that it's not just imagination, but it's actually memory, that you get a situation like that, for example, some small symptom that is a bit funky, and then you go and you check it, and then you have a scan of something. The scan shows something that is not a good sign, and then your life turns around from one day to the other day, to everything is changed. Everything you valued and thought was important before is not anymore. So I know what that feels like, and that kind of got a bit triggered by those things, but totally normal, understandable. Important is everybody's safe, everybody's healthy, and I focus on that. Sunday we had a nice run, a 20 kilometer flat, 1 hour 43.
Good morning, guys. It is Sunday morning, nice and frosty, but not too cold, minus 10 Celsius. That's like 10 degrees warmer than when you used to be. So it's like, I don't know, what is that, 15 Fahrenheit, somewhere in there, 20. But yeah, definitely noticed resting heart rate dropped, because I did sit only physically in the hospital all day yesterday, and I made sure to hydrate and eat well with the food available. So physically, definitely recovered. But mentally, it was for sure a little trauma, a little reawakening of trauma, because I had one of those days only 2 years recently. Same scenario, scan the head, and then after that day, life is different. So if you see something in the scan that shouldn't be there, like a tumor or fill in the gap, or something is with the arteries, then your life changes very abruptly. And yeah, in this case, they changed it to 2 years later. We had a funeral. So yeah, I'm very grateful that my wife is fine and healthy. And I'm aware that, you know, these things that I do here, because I had probably 10 years of time to think. That's my biggest struggle period. I kind of think about what is the purpose in life, what is the point, basically, if you zoom out in the universe. And yeah, so conclusion, there's no point. The point is you gotta be happy, and what I enjoy most is this. But in the big scene, you know, for example, 5 weeks is Dallas, in the big scene of the universe, if I run from A to B in 1 hour 30, 1 hour 50 in the half marathon, or run from A to B in 1 hour 13, what's the difference? It doesn't matter. It's completely pointless. But I enjoy it, so that makes a point. And secondly, through this journey and filming this, documenting this, I hope I can use the current times, like internet, like you guys watching me talking to a piece of plastic and uploading it somewhere in the web, that you get something out of it and you feel better, you stay positive and do everything that you can to live a good life. But yeah, so that's a short recap and download it off the brain, off the subconscious into conscious. Keep repeating, everything is good, everybody's safe, everybody's healthy. So I'm gonna enjoy this run and let's get it. We're going on the sea again because why not? Why not run on the sea? There we go. As you can see, it's pretty busy, full of people. There's the pier, and in the summer I swim here. Now I'm running here, as you do.
So there was not just easy running, what I did before. So there we layered a 5K segment in with 420 pace, 144 average heart rate, a bit up and down with the snow. Super beautiful, really liked it. It was just a bit more aerobic in the zone 2 range. Doesn't feel hard, but it combines for the day before. It's just I felt it was a better stimulus for me right now, because I can run in zone 1 5 hours straight. Like that, I'm good at that. And obviously this is something I can tell and feel, especially in this part of the journey right now and this month. It's a nice new stimulus. It's something different.
What's happening, guys? Before a 3-hour bike ride, we are quickly driving to the post office. I actually have to drive there because I have the package the size of I don't know what the size of, but it's gonna be huge. So let's see. yeah, we'll get that with the car. There's all my sport nutrition in there from Omara. So amazing. That literally makes a huge difference, like how you recover, how you, not as a promoting thing, but in general have sport nutrition. If you do endurance sports entirely, you know what a pain it is to pay for those. My god, they're expensive for a little bit of sugar. But yeah, Omara is also really competitive with pricing as well, while delivering the same quality and actually better taste. So I'm super happy to have that, because I'm going to be needing 90 grams an hour for that ride that I'm having coming. And yeah, let's see what's in the package. It's a big package. Okay. Up. It's doable.
Then a big ride. We did 3 hours with, in the end, 5 times 5 minutes big gear work. That was really nice. 251 normalized power, 132 average heart rate. And there felt good because we could really stimulate the muscular fatigue a bit, which last week I think the power was just too low.
What's happening? The main problem is when you ride indoors so much, you don't know what to watch. That is probably the only thing that's an issue. The rest I don't care, especially when it's easy. But luckily today it's not easy. We have a longer aerobic set, and then in the end 5 times 5 minutes, 50 cadence, and 330 watts. So if you do this late in the session, combined with the weekend, I hope that the legs will hurt. Yeah, then I swim after, and then yeah, a nice long day, 6 hours or something. So crazy how you just back them up like that. But yep, see you later.
But yeah, so that was really good. Happy with that session. That felt nice. And then in the evening, I normally have a gym session again, but since the day before I missed the swim, I shifted the swim over to the Sunday because the swim is more important than the gym. And yeah, so I was there in the gym in the evening. Really nice technique work. And anything else was in there? No, just technique work. When I say technique work, it is swimming. It's just working on those cues that I have to find this rhythm that then correlates to the only thing that basically matters for me is how efficient are you at this 108, 110 pace, because that's something you have to hold in. Doesn't matter if I do a half Ironman or full Ironman. The first 400 to maybe even 600, you need to be swimming this 110 pace. So the first 50, 100 meters probably quicker than that. And then you need to have the fitness, aerobic conditioning to hold that. Otherwise, you have no chance to be in front pack.
Good evening. Heading off to the pool. Last session of the day. We did about 5 hours now. And I'm still feeling sparkling clean, although we did some quality work. Really good, stable energy. I think one reason it feels so easy is because I've been doing years in severe overtraining, and I still did the work of 25 hours or whatever, which obviously didn't get absorbed, but that was hard. So this is all like a piece of cake. I don't know. I think your perception of effort is just completely screwed. So I feel great, you know. I don't know. Of course, it's sometimes tired, but it's no comparison. I did years of absolute stupid overtraining, so this is really not so hard. Rather this way around. So I look forward to it. A nice 45-minute swim. I have this nice rhythm of swimming, gonna enjoy it. Some cold water and sauna. What a life, what a life. Okay, tomorrow's easy day. Probably 2-3 easy days to absorb the full 3-week block. Probably, yeah. See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, doke, that was it already. I hope it was this time shorter because last week completely escalated in length. What the flip was that? No more 1 hour videos. I know some of you guys might be like that, but I think that's a bit too long to digest on the side. So I'm trying to keep those in a reasonable manner, but that week escalated. Nice and snowy here. I'm enjoying it. Feeling good physically. We're right now going into 3 days easy, just absorbing the 3-week block, but all of those details and some exciting stuff next week will come mainly with the bike testing, and also some more harder running will come in next week for you guys and in this week for me. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys also had a good week of training, and if not, go back on the horse, sign up for some races, sign up for a new challenge, and then there's so many ways to train for things. If you never ran before or never did a triathlon before, there's so much knowledge out. You don't need all these complex things of coaching or anything. ChatGPT can get you a long way for basic knowledge, right? So no excuses not to get after it. Get your running shoes out, set a nice challenge, and do it. All right, see you guys in next week's video. Bye-bye.
Oh no!
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.